Hello, everyone. Welcome to our presentation on MGM Resorts, A Time for Reinvention. My name is Chi-Chi, and I'll be presenting with my team comprised of Rushikesh, Jay, Mike, and Shaq. Let's dive in. Founded in 1969, MGM Resorts is a hospitality and entertainment company. Its 29 properties boast of hotels, casinos, restaurants, nightlife, and retail, both in and outside of the U.S. MGM grew by acquisition and sell-off. Kirk would go to banks, borrow money for new properties, whether built or bought, generate returns, and pay back the debts. Unfortunately, the recession hit and the company almost went bankrupt. Thankfully, recovery was made through sales of properties and the revenue generated from the MGM Grand Motel in Asia. Fast forward to the time of this case. MGM Resorts is doing well, but they're noticing a shift in customer. They're seeing that their typical older customer that enjoys slot machines and traditional games is being replaced by a younger one more interested in modern technology and skill testing games. Because of this, the company has introduced interactive, skill testing attractions like Topgolf and Level Up. On top of this, MGM Resorts is looking to add appeal through entertainment. Lastly, apps like Digital Key and MyVegas have been added to modernize the customer's experience and collect data. Next, I'll pass it off to Rushikesh to talk about some analysis.
Thank you, Chichi. So let's talk about threats first. One of the major threats for MGM is that after Nevada, more and more states in USA, including Florida, Kansas, Maryland, Massachusetts, and Ohio, had legalized some form of gaming. This means MGM will face competition from businesses in these states too. Moving on to opportunities, esports were slated to generate $1 billion in revenue and $9 billion in wagering by 2019. Because of resources available to MGM, company has potential to grow in esports field. Moving on to weaknesses, one of the major weaknesses of MGM is that decision making is highly centralized, and decision by teams need to be approved by certain officials. This reduces efficiency in operations by making them more time consuming. Talking about strengths, MGM has large asset base with destination resorts in cities such as Las Vegas, Detroit, Mississippi, Maryland, and New Jersey. Being one of the oldest company in the industry, MGM has built strong reputation over the years. So a key takeaway from the analysis is that considering many positive and differentiating factors, MGM is an overall position of strength, but the external environment is threatening enough. By expanding on its digital initiatives and prioritizing customer service, MGM can create competitive advantage in the market. So we did valuation analysis to identify primary and secondary activities that add value to the firm's products and services. Company's sustainable and technologically advanced procurement helps to reduce challenges in product development phase. Other than that, machining, packing, assembling in operations, mobile marketing in marketing and sales, and all five business units of MGM add value to the firm. So our key takeaway from the analysis is MGM Resorts International can use supply chain management, automation, and information system to avail cost advantage. By utilizing new channels of distribution and expanding on innovative technologies, company can create a differentiating advantage for itself. With that, I will pass it on to my colleague Jay, who will do the external analysis.
Thanks, Rishikesh. We have used two tools to conduct the external analysis on the case study. We have used Porter's five forces and Porter's diamond model. So let's start with Porter's five forces. Using Porter's five forces, we identified that the threat of new entrants is low as the gaming industry is saturated with organizations that have operated in the Las Vegas region for decades. Because of the number of competitors within the industry, the rivalry amongst them is identified as high. Furthermore, as more and more states legalize gambling and gaming, the rivalry will only increase. This in turn results in the threat of substitutes being high as the customers can easily switch their stay and gamble elsewhere. This threat of substitutes doesn't just comprise of different casino organizations, but the states as well. In terms of the bargaining power of suppliers and buyers, we have identified that of suppliers to be moderate and that of buyers to be high. Suppliers generally produce very specialized equipment and are also highly regulated, therefore resulting in a moderate bargaining power. Buyers, on the other hand, include the people who come to visit the casinos, and as the case explicitly outlines, the changing preferences and low cost for switching to a competitor. We have identified the bargaining power of buyers as high. Moving on to our second external analysis, the diamond framework, there are five distinct aspects that it focuses on: firm strategy, factor conditions, demand conditions, government, and related industries. This model focuses on why certain industries are competitive internationally. Although the case does not explicitly mention international competition, we know that there are many regions in the world renowned for the gaming industries and gambling, and some popular examples include Monaco and Macau. In terms of firms' strategy and rivalry, the intense competition forces the gaming companies to improve their service quality and forces them to innovate and give customers new experiences. Factor conditions refer to the natural capital and human resources available to MGM and their competitors within the region. There are large pieces of land in and around Las Vegas region that are readily available to develop new projects. Furthermore, as the case mentions, there are many IT professionals that are inclined to working in Las Vegas region and therefore giving them an edge over other regions such as San Francisco. Demand conditions that affect MGM are the changing consumer preferences of the millennial target market. Since there is an increasing demand for entertainment-related activities, MGM can focus on offering services related to nightlife, entertainment shows, and even esports. The government of Nevada has a significant influence in the gaming industry. This is highlighted with the information related to the Nevada Gaming Commission in the case. MGM and other casino organizations constantly have to keep in check with the government's regulations and follow all protocols prior to launching any new initiative in order to not fall into any legal troubles and tarnish their brand. Furthermore, since the gaming industry provides a stable set of jobs and generates a steady amount in tax revenue, it is beneficial for both parties to be working together. A few related industries that go together with the gaming industry include entertainment, hospitality, and food and beverage. Most casinos are termed casino resorts, as the casino is usually packaged with a hotel with its own amenities. The resort/casino also generally consists of large event spaces and fine dining experiences within their campuses, therefore making a holistic customer experience. A new entry into this would be a new related industry would be the educational industry, as more and more cases related to casino management are being offered at various universities. This will in turn generate more human resources available for the gaming industry and increase the valuation of all organizations involved. This concludes our external analysis, and now I will pass it on to Mike to discuss our recommendations. Thank you.
Our primary focus with MGM is to pivot its strategy in a manner that will transform the company from a one-dimensional organization that has relied on traditional gambling to drive the majority of its revenue to instead a multifaceted entertainment company, or an adult Disney, if you will. Our recommendation is a three-pronged approach that reinvents and focuses on two of MGM's most important and highest potential revenue pillars, while concurrently improving customer service through the digitalization of operations. First, our recommendation focuses on utilizing the expansion of innovative digital technologies to improve back-end efficiency. This will allow for MGM to focus resources on the customer-facing side of operations and better glean insights from data analytics and increase data mining capabilities that they will then have to assist in running the company. This will be done through the prioritization and expansion of the Digital Key and My Vegas initiatives. A full transition to Digital Key will allow for increased customer convenience and safety, as digital keys are less likely to be lost, as well as also having the ability to check in automatically. Additionally, more of a marketing focus on the My Vegas app will help to increase awareness and proliferate use amongst the millennial crowd. This app can be strategically used to draw in customers to other less well-known offerings by prominently displaying suggestions on the app based on their search history and preferences. Furthermore, MGM will enhance its e-commerce capabilities through website optimization to recapture booking traffic from third-party sales, as well as to help increase web-based sales across its portfolio. Finally, incorporating increased privacy measures will reduce the potential for damaging cyber attacks, as well as retain credibility and trust amongst MGM's consumer base. Next, our second prong of the recommendation focuses on the reinvention of the entertainment and gaming segments through a targeted pivot in MGM strategy by an increased focus on the millennial market. This will be done through a multitude of avenues, the first one being the addition of more interactive skill-based activities. This is recommended to be done through a redesign of existing gambling areas to include a higher proportion of skill-based games such as blackjack and poker. As well, MGM will expand its non-gambling offerings such as Topgolf and Level Up to all other MGM international locations. Next, MGM will develop a partnership with a leading talent management firm such as WME, William Morris Endeavor, in order to increase their access to top music acts and gain preferential bookings for all their sites. This prong also recommends the investment into esports gambling, a lucrative industry that is expected to do $9 billion in gambling revenue MGM will utilize its strong relationship with the Nevada Gaming Commission to spearhead the legalization within the state, as well as leverage digital capabilities by building a gambling app. By hosting and sponsoring major esports competitions and partnering with Twitch, MGM has the opportunity to become the epicenter of esports. Finally, the creation of an athlete and sports league sponsorship program can help to increase MGM's status as a sporting giant. With boxing, UFC, and hockey already being hosted at MGM properties, the sponsorship of specific athletes or leagues can boost brand awareness and standing within each of the sports fan bases, bringing in more of that millennial market that MGM really wants to capture.
The third part of our recommendation is for MGM Resorts to increase their commitment to corporate social responsibility. So not only can social responsibility bolster a company's image and help build its brand, but it can also help boost employee morale and lead to greater productivity in the workforce. So one way MGM can increase their commitment to corporate social responsibility is by promoting responsible gaming practices. The company can create programs where trained staff interact with guests and engage in proactive conversations about how to make informed decisions and gamble responsibly. MGM should also focus on environmental sustainability. The company should aim to improve energy efficiency, reduce water usage, enhance indoor air quality, and eventually make their operations LEED certified. This is a very important issue for millennials, and it can also help differentiate MGM from their competitors. MGM should strive to promote diversity and inclusion. This can help in attracting top talent, as well as leveraging the broad diversity of their employees' skills to drive excellence in innovation, collaboration, and financial performance. Another way to invest in their community is by making philanthropic investments to nonprofit organizations in local communities. This can help in improving brand awareness and reputation. Overall, digitalization of operations, focusing on the entertainment and gaming segments, and committing to social responsibility will help MGM Resorts improve profitability, adapt to changing customer preferences, and differentiate themselves amongst their competitors. There are some potential risks with our proposed recommendation. Firstly, as other cities open up more convention space, and as more states start legalizing gambling, the competition in the industry will increase. This is why it's very important for MGM to differentiate themselves amongst their peers. There's also the risk of a recession or an economic downturn, as would happen in 2008, which almost bankrupted MGM. When customers have less discretionary spending, they tend to spend more of their money on essentials and less on gaming and entertainment. Another risk is that consumers and their preferences are constantly changing. MGM must remain agile and focus on data-based decision-making in order to stay up to speed with the trends that shape consumer preferences. Finally, with increased digitalization, it runs the risk of future cybersecurity breaches. This can damage MGM's credibility and can be a big hit to the company's reputation.
Our contingency involves three aspects: data governance, expansion, and partnerships. As the company hires a CDO, hiring experienced personnel or an outside data governance firm should be done to improve the data management, update software, and increase security to protect customer data. Expanding service offerings in other or existing areas will also help adjust and diversify risk. This would involve introducing more local or international entertainment, interactive or skill testing games, and even cultural or seasonal experiences. Creating strategic partnerships with big players is another contingency. These will be mutually beneficial as customer bases, facilities, and brand awareness will be leveraged by parties involved. Before we wrap up, here's our timeline. Start by hiring the CDO in the first month. At the same time, lobby for legalization of esports gambling. Allocate 6 months to this for preparations, contacting people, meetings, and follow up after 3 months. Simultaneously, start looking for entertainment companies to hire or partner with while preparing for expansion of the digital initiatives. Both of these would start in month 1 and last 3 months. After this, the digital initiative should be launched or updated over the next 2 months. Performances and shows from the new partnership begin in month 9. And lastly, LEED certification improvements start in month 2 and go until month 12, rounding out the 1-year plan. That concludes our presentation. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope you enjoyed it.